welcome to Fools with Tools. I'm Tori, and I'm not gonna be your fool for today.
Not the tool either. This is weird.
Welcome to Zach's Bike Check. This time, I'm gonna be the interviewer, and you'll be the interviewee. The turntables.
The turntables.
So, we are gonna do Zach's new bike check that he has not stopped talking about, so now we can get him to shut up about it.
Yeah,
Zach,
exactly.
Tell us about your Trance.
This is a giant Trance, but it's not any other Trance that you're essentially ever going to see anywhere else. This is a full custom one-off 2022, I guess technically, giant Trance.
A Zach original.
Yes, exactly. So this bike started off as kind of a brainchild between me and another guy here, Brian Blair. He's our buyer, if you know him.
We love Brian. Shout out to Brian!
We talked about this for quite some time, the idea of building essentially a short travel trail bike with enduro bike geo of 2 or 3 years ago, but in an incredibly lightweight package still. Brian already has a transition spur, but he wanted to try something else a little new. I was looking for a short travel rig, and we kind of came up with this weird little concoction in our minds, and eventually it came to fruition. So where the regular Trance is normally a 130 front, 120 rear, the basis of this bike is built around a 120 mil front and back, overall very lightweight, snappy trail platform. So we have a 120 SID race day fork up front. Know how much you love these. These are,
I do.
They're fantastic. Incredibly lightweight.
I have one myself.
Fantastically stiff chassis. They work incredibly well. We also have a Wolftooth 1 degree GeoShift headset up front to slacken the front end out while also making it a little shorter. What that does is it boosts the wheelbase up a lot, especially in the front, but it also brings the entire front end of the bike down a good amount in order to compensate for that. Additionally, because that front end is now so much lower and our rear end is also going to be artificially lower to the ground because of that, we do run it exclusively in the high bottom bracket position.
Right.
You can't put it in low, otherwise your crank is going to be way too low, you're going to need pedal strike in, and it's going to cause issues. So,
which is not what you want on a fast bike.
No, exactly. You still want clearance, but so we're only running it in high. What this does is it gives us a geo of about 65.8-ish degree head tube angle up front, which is a very comfortable, almost enduro bike geo of several years ago, but on a 120 mil platform.
Which is such good for you.
It's perfect because the bike maintains, this one's right about 26 pounds flat right now as it sits, which is an incredibly lightweight, snappy platform that will be a rocket ship up any hills.
Right.
But you point it down and this thing will descend just as capable as any other trail bike out there from the last few years.
Right.
Because the geo is so slack, so long, and just very progressive.
And this is like a special color, right? Like this, you're not going to find this exact frame anywhere else, right?
Exactly. You may find the frames elsewhere, but they're all going to be a little differently. So in the frame set only options from Giant, all of these are hand painted. It starts out with a black clear coat, and then they actually take a hefty trash bag, paint it silver, and then blotch the entire frame everywhere to create the really cool, almost marbled effect that these have. And because every single one of them is hand done, every one is unique and exclusive to its exact frame. So you're never gonna find one that's gonna be exactly the same, but they do have a few frame sets that they've sent out across the country to other bike shops and whatnot. So you may see them out there, but just the cool thing is every frame is individually unique, which I think is kind of cool to know. That, like, this is totally different than any of the other ones out there.
And then how do you feel about then now riding this bike and trying it out for yourself? Is there anything you'd change? What's your favorite component? Has it come together the way you thought it would? Or is there still things you're trying to make sure you fine tune?
You know, it's a funny question because in the day of building a bike during the pandemic, it's kind of difficult to get exactly what you want. So you either compromise or you're patient.
Absolutely.
You pick one or the other, and that's how you can build a bike. So on this one, I would say it was a bit of both. There were a few parts that we waited for specifically because that was going to be the right choice for this build. The suspension was one of them. The handlebars are one of them. The SYNCROS HIXON one-piece bar. So no stem, just stem and bar combo on here.
Unique.
Very stiff, very lightweight. Two awesome features of a handlebar. I would say the only downside to it is there isn't much adjustability in it because on a normal stem and bar combo, you can adjust roll and angle and all that stuff. So you don't get that on this, but I like the bar angle, the roll that it has on there simulated into the design. So it works very well for me. May not work for everyone, but it is a very good system that they have on there.
And such a clean finish, too.
Oh, absolutely. It's a fantastically clean finish, which is, you know, again, a huge selling point.
And you have access on it. How do you like it? Is the extra weight worth it? Do you even notice the extra weight? Do you think it's something you could do without? Give me that whole situation, because that could be its own video.
Oh, absolutely.
Of Axis.
Yeah. So the funny part is Axis doesn't actually weigh really anything more than its XX1 mechanical counterpart, because what a lot of people don't take into account and how much weight is actually there is the weight of a steel cable and housing.
Right.
When you add that into your regular XX1 mechanical weight setup, I think Axis is about like 25 grams heavier than that. That's
and it feels good?
Oh, it's fantastic. The shift quality you get out of Axis is bar none anything in the industry. This is the top shifting quality out of anything on the market. XTR, TRP, mechanical, Eagle, anything else. Stuff is the way to go, 100%.
And if somebody, you know, one of our lovely viewers out there wanted to build up something like this, they're like, I want a sick Trance like this. Would you recommend this to people? Do you think it's a little bit more of like a niche project? Or do you think this is an awesome bike, you can absolutely do it?
Yes and no.
Okay.
The Trance itself is a fantastic bike for, I would say, 80% of riders to just feel immediately at home on and very comfortable. The Trance is a great bike for that. And it does leave a lot of room to make it bigger. If they wanted to run a 140 fork on the front instead of a 130, it does that great. If you want to run a big piggyback shock, you can do that. You want to run 2 6 tires? Sure. That's the coolest part about this platform and why it's such a good starting base, because you can take this platform so many different directions and it's going to do all of those things well. The reason I say no is because unless you're looking for a specifically, like, I want to buy a cross-country bike, but I don't want to have a cross-country bike.
So you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This does that perfectly. This is your cross-country bike that's not a cross-country bike.
Yeah.
If that's not what you're looking for, I wouldn't go this direction with it. I would go the other direction.
The normal Trance.
Either keep it stock or make it a little bigger, essentially, with a 140 fork. I think that's totally fine. But this platform allows you to do that, and it does both of those flavors excellently. It kind of just depends on how you want to do it yourself.
So if you're in the market for a new bike or just a fun passion project, if you're looking for something niche, kind of like Zach was, maybe you should check out a Trance. Stop by the Path Bike Shop, throw your leg over one, just pedal around the parking lot. Or you can also check out our website at thepathbikeshop.com, where we have all of our latest releases, as in what bikes we're getting in, what bikes are going on sale, and maybe you might find something you didn't even know you were looking for, or the perfect bike for you. But until then, keep following us on social media. We have Instagram, we have Facebook, all the Path Bike Shop, pretty easy to find us. And be sure to like and subscribe so you can stay tuned for this and more mountain bike content to come. But until then, we'll see ya.